Guys, we are back coming to you live for a special matinee edition of War Week Boxing. And we've got a lot to discuss. We are going to discuss this past Saturday night's card. Brought to you by PBC and Amazon Prime. We're going to talk about the main event and everything else that happened. We'll also talk about, a lot of boxing news as well as this press conference that just took place in New York City. Guys, all of that and much, much more on the latest live edition of War a Week Boxing.
Vashon Holdings proudly presents War Week Radio Chats with ring announcer Joseph Herron.
Guys, welcome. Excuse me. Happy Wednesday to all of you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. Getting geared up for this beautiful Christmas season. Tell you what, I know I am, guys, and I'm remembering the reason for the season, guys. And before we get started on talking about boxing, yes, and Jesus, welcome, brother. It's good to see you, my friend. And yes, I'm going to make sense of all of this Crawford WBC mess, and we're going to talk about it. Stick with me, and we're going to have fun playing a game of fact or fiction, and yes, that is included. So if you guys stick around for me. Stick around with me. Guys, we're going to start off, though, once again, just talking about the reason for the Christmas season. Guys, always remember why Christmas is, apart from Easter, the most blessed of all holidays. It is remembering John 14:6. Jesus declared, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. It's imperative that you all remember that this Christmas season. And don't be ashamed to stand boldly on his truth. And I'm also going to give you guys another one from the book of John 13:34-35, in which Jesus says to his disciples, a new commandment I give you, that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, you also are to love one another. By this, all people will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another. Guys, please try to remember that this Christmas season, that is the reason why we celebrate the birth of Christ. His salvation that only comes through him. With that said, guys, let's start talking about pugilism. And we'll say a short prayer after we finish, guys, all right? But guys, we're going to start off by playing one of my favorite games.
Hey, we ain't ducking and dodging nobody. It's time for fact or fiction.
Yes, I love me some fact or fiction, guys, and want all you guys to play with me. I missed all of you guys, and I've been terribly busy, but I'm gonna try to do more shows. As much as possible, guys, because I do miss chatting with all of you, my boxing brethren on a War Week. I love all you guys. Let's start with number one. Janabek testing positive for meldonium just saved fans the painstaking duty of sitting through one of the worst style matchups in boxing today. Fact or fiction? Yeah, Guys, that's a big fact. That is a big fact. Like, honestly, I don't know what I understand. They're trying to set up a big fight with Terrence Crawford, but look, he's not going to get into the ring for anything less than 100 million rock. So what does that tell us? He might as well announce his retirement today because he's not going to make that money. There's not even that much money in a potential rematch with Canelo Alvarez. No one's interested. One, it wasn't that exciting of a fight. Stylistically, they're both counterpunchers. Forcing Canelo to take the lead, then getting the better of the exchanges. He figured Canelo out, and he dominated the second half of the fight. There's really no reason to even see a rematch. Unless Canelo does something very different. And once again, he's getting a new trainer. Maybe that might create enough intrigue to merit a rematch. But yeah, guys, honestly, that's a terrible style matchup. Janibek, and so the reason why I'm bringing that up, that was the reason why they wanted to put together a unification bout between Janibek and Erislandy Lara to try and bait Terrence Crawford into a potential matchup at 160. Guys, no one wants to see that. Doesn't matter how many belts you have, you're not going to be able to get that kind of money, the exorbitant purse that he wants, that he's looking for. It's not going to happen, guys. So let's move on to the next one, guys. Shakur Stevenson, Fact or Fiction, guys. Shakur Stevenson deserves a ton of credit from the fans for taking on Teofimo Lopez, the ring champ, in his first assignment at 140, even though it's going to prove to be a real stinker. What do you guys think? Is that fact or fiction? Comment. What do you think, guys? Yes, it's no doubt that first part is a fact. He deserves a ton of credit from the fans to take on Teofimo Lopez in his first slated fight at 140 pounds. Unlike Jaron Boots Ennis, he doesn't need a tune-up. I love that. But there's a reason why he chose Teofimo Lopez here. One, he's the ring champ. Two, it's a favorable style matchup for Shakur Stevenson. And it's going to prove to be a real stinker. Once again, you're pitting two counterpunchers in the ring. And Teofimo being the Brooklynite, all of the onus of entertainment value is going to fall on his shoulders. He's going to feel obligated and compelled to take the lead, something he's not good at. Guys, go look at the Jermaine Ortiz fight. He looks very ordinary when he's forced to take the lead. Look at his fight against George Kambosos. He fought in the same exact place, the Hulu Theater in Madison Square Garden. Being the A side, he felt compelled to take the lead. Something he's not good at. Once again, he's a specimen. He's one of the most gifted athletic fighters in boxing today. And he looks like a genius when pitted against a very aggressive-minded fighter. Put it this way, if Teofimo Lopez fought Pitbull Cruz the other night, he would have stopped him. And if he didn't stop him, he would have won 12 rounds. He would have pitched a virtual shutout. If that were Teofimo Lopez instead of Lamont Roach, but he's not fighting Pitbull Cruz. He's fighting Shakur Stevenson. And during the press conference today, what did Teofimo Lopez say about what did he say about Shakur Stevenson? He said, oh, man, my man Shakur, he's just afraid to get hit. And you could see it. Yeah, he's like Erislandy Lara or like Janibek Ali Manala. He's not going to take the lead. And if it means stinking out the joint, we've already seen it when he fought Edwin De Los Santos. He is not going to take the lead and be aggressive and throw the first punch. He's going to try to counter you effectively. That's why in order to have an entertaining fight that includes Shakur Stevenson, you need to pit him against guys like his last opponent, right? He looks great when a guy is charging right at him. Like if he had fought Pitbull Cruz, man, he would have looked like Floyd Mayweather Jr. again. Against William Zepeda, he looked like Floyd. Against Teofimo Lopez, it's going to look like Erislandy Lara or Guillermo Rigondeaux. He's going to be standing there waiting for Teofimo Lopez to get off first and to aggressively pursue him. And Teofimo Lopez, being the Brooklynite, being the homeboy, he's going to take the bait. And he's going to do something that makes him look very ordinary. He's never been an effective aggressor. He doesn't know how to cut off the ring and close the distance effectively. And he's going to be walking right into the trap of Shakur Stevenson. It's not going to be a fun fight to watch, guys. He's going to be very tentative once Shakur hits him with a sharp counter. And Shakur is not going to take the lead. It's going to be an awful stalemate. So, yeah, even though I'm happy that the best are fighting the best, this is not a very good style matchup, guys. And I, for one, don't care. I'll read about it the next day. I'll see the highlights. But I'm not sitting through this one. I don't care. I wish I shared your optimism, brother, but yeah. It's going to be an easy points victory for Shakur Stevenson. Teofimo Lopez is going to look very ordinary taking the lead. He always does. Let's hope I'm wrong in this, but very seldom am I, guys. Just like I told you guys, Devin Haney, there was a reason why he chose Brian Norman Jr. Brian Norman Jr. at this point of his career is nothing more than 147-pound canine bondage. He has power, he has heart, but he's very limited in his skill set. And you saw that. He doesn't know how to fight in the pocket. I mean, he doesn't know how to be aggressive. He can fight in the pocket when someone's fighting with him. But when he has to cut off the ring and close the distance and pursue someone who isn't interested in sitting in the pocket, he smothers his own offense. He lunges in. We saw that and made for a terrible fight. Told you guys that was going to happen. So let's keep going, guys. Number 3. Ryan Garcia. Fact or fiction, guys. Ryan Garcia is correct when he condemns Hall of Fame trainer Joe Goosen as the mole who leaked information about his rib injury before the Tank fight. What do you guys think? Fact or fiction? We're gonna get some quotes from Ryan Garcia, guys. What do you guys think? Fact or fiction? Hey, Brother Alberto, how are you doing, my brother in Christ? Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, and we're going to say some prayers before we leave, brother, because this is... Oh, wait a minute. Poor Big Rick, his Twitter went down a week ago. I hadn't noticed because I've been so busy, guys. Jesus says, thank you for telling me, though, Alberto. I'm going to reach out to him as soon as this show's finished. Jesus says fiction. Do you guys agree? Once again, Ryan Garcia is correct when he condemns Hall of Fame trainer Joe Goosen as the mole who leaked information about his rib injury before the Tank fight. Guys, he's delusional. Joe Goosen is a real pro. He would never reveal anything. Ryan Garcia, once again, ignorantly is connecting the dots and formulating the wrong picture, something that he frequently does. looking for excuses. Brother, we already know who leaked that information, and that was the guy who cracked your ribs, your Indonesian sparring partner. Is what Ryan Garcia says, though. Yeah, he was already a mole the first time talking about Joe Goosen. This is Ryan Garcia talking. He's going to be a mole again, and PBC knows it's my last fight with Golden Boy, so they sent a mole in to help Mario Varrios. Thank you. There was only 2 people in the gym when they seen my rib get cracked. And let's just say that my dad, Henry Garcia, wouldn't say anything. It's the guy, Joe Goosen, with a Canadian tuxedo. End quote. I think he's forgetting about the fighter who did it to him. That was the guy. Joe Goosen is a pro and a Hall of Famer for a reason. Would never roll over on any one of his clients, especially if he's making a ton of money by being in your corner. It's not his fault that you didn't listen and chose to try to do things your way. You had the opportunity to work with a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest trainers to have ever done it. One of the smartest, most knowledgeable, and most experienced men in boxing. And you chose to listen to the idiots around you rather than someone with real knowledge. Well, guess what, son? Mario Varrios is not that stupid. He's actually going to listen to Joe Goosen, and he's going to whoop your ass. Guys, that takes us to number 6. We're going to jump around, guys. We're going to do like the House of Pain and jump around. Fact or fiction, guys, say what you want about Mario Varrios, but he's going to outpoint Ryan Garcia and retain his WBC title on February 21st. Fact or fiction, guys? What say you guys? I think that's a big time fact. I'll tell you this. Without Coach Barrientos creating dissension in camp, telling his fighter Mario Varrios not to listen to Bob Santos in his corner. Yeah, he's going to do a lot better. Who taught Bob Santos the art of the sweet science, one of the best trainers in boxing at this time? That was Joe Goosen, guys, from the 10 Goose Gym in Van Nuys. This is a great move by Mario Varrios. And I promise you this, he's going to be a lot more aggressive. He's going to try to win. He's not going to be afraid to get hit and just pick and poke from the outside. He's going to try to win this fight, trying to punish Ryan Garcia. He's going to fight like a man. And I, for one, I think this is a brilliant move. Don't expect, now once again, Joe Goosen is a Hall of Fame trainer, but he's not a miracle worker. Don't expect him to completely change Mario Varrios overnight. I can promise you this, he's going to make him a much better fighter over time. And I think he's going to learn a lot. He's going to do enough to win the fight on February 21st. Guys, Joe Goosen is one of the best trainers in boxing. Ryan Garcia really screwed up. Had the opportunity to work with him, and he blew it. Alberto says, Joe, is it true that Ricky Funez quit being a boxing trainer? I feel for the guy. I'm not sure. I hope not, because he's another apprentice of Master Joe Goosen. Yeah, that's a bad move. Hamza Shiraz learned a lot from Ricky Funez. Ricky Funez, once again, he runs the 10 Goose Gym now. And if he quit boxing, yeah, that's a darn shame. He was an asset. Very smart trainer. Once again, he learned everything from Joe Goosen. I saw a video recently where he said he did, and now he runs a coffee truck in Van Nuys. You know what? That wouldn't surprise me at all. And it all has to do with the mentality of the fighters today. And once again, that's why Master James Gogi, one of the best trainers in boxing, one of the most underrated trainers in boxing, is exclusively training guys in Mexico. He doesn't like the mentality of the American fighter any longer. I know Hamza Shiraz isn't that, but this is a guy who shows no loyalty at all. Like, honestly, I don't see how Ronnie has the patience of Job, Coach Ronnie, my brother. Because I don't see how he can put up with the ego and the lifestyle and the bad habits of these fighters today. None of them have the mindset where they want to fight. They don't have that dog in them like previous eras. And they just want to have that bag, and they're almost afraid to get hit. That's why we love us some Jesse Bam Rodriguez, because he's a real throwback. He's a guy who will sit in the pocket, never clinch, and whoop your ass and make it look easy. One of the best pound-for-pound fighters in boxing, one of San Antonio's greats. We love Jesse Bam Rodriguez. Hey, good evening, Brother Toby. Good to see you, my friend. And I have to give a big shout-out to my brother Hawker Mustang. Woo! And yes, Alexander Usyk is coming up later on. How do you like that? Let's move on, guys. Let's move on. We have a lot to cover. Number 4. Bill and Devin Haney are correct. Fact or fiction, guys. Bill and Devin Haney are correct when saying holding is a big part of the sweet science. Fact or fiction, guys. Is it a big part of the sweet science? And fiction, guys. Fiction. Fiction. It is against the rules. And the only people who have to clinch is to cover. The only reason why a fighter ever has to clinch is to cover up deficiencies. Either he's hurt, either he's tired, or either he doesn't know how to fight proficiently in the pocket or defend himself effectively. That's it. Guys, tell me something. How many clinches did Jesse Bam Rodriguez use in his fight against the tough Argentine? How many times did you see him resort to a clinch in the inside? 0. Zilch. He doesn't have to. He uses angles and technique to defend himself and to fight proficiently on the inside. Toby has the beat. It is not a part of the sweet science. It's not a part of boxing, and it's illegal. I am sick and tired of hearing the pundits, the fans, try to justify that nonsense. Guys, if you want to understand what's keeping the mainstream fans away from the sport, is all of the excessive holding. And we're going to get into that part of it this past Saturday night. I thought the referee in charge did a terrible job officiating that fight, taking the point away from Pitbull Cruz late in that fight. For what? Hitting on the belt line. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong. When he was given the final instructions, he said, this is clean, pointing to the belt line. How many times did he warn Lamont Roach Jr. of all the holding that he was doing every time Pitbull collapsed the pocket? How many times did he warn him? Did he take away any points? No. And look, I understand it's putting the referee in a very compromised position. When there's a title on the line, the referees do not want to be a factor in determining the winner or loser. But guess what? You did. By not taking any points away, by not even warning Lamont Roach of all the excessive holding. But you took away a point for hitting on the belt line, a place that you said was clean, was acceptable. And what was he supposed to do? Lamont Roach was leaning on him, pushing his head down. Come on. I thought the ref was terrible on Saturday night in the main event. And no, it's not a part of boxing. It's not a part of the sweet science. It's crap. It's illegal, and it keeps fans away from the sport. It keeps mainstream and casual fans away from the sport. I can't stand it. Nothing breaks the flow of action like holding. It's terrible. It's just awful. That brings us to number 5, guys. Fact or fiction? Pitbull Cruz was robbed of a clear victory on Saturday night and deserved the win against Lamont Roach. Fact or fiction? What say you guys? What did you think of this Saturday night's main event being deemed a majority draw? What do you think, guys? Please list in the comments what you think. And guys, please don't be afraid to hit the like button, please. Thank you very much. What say you guys? How did you think? How did you score the fight? I thought Pitbull Cruz deserved the victory. I thought it was very competitive, especially in the back half. I thought Lamont Roach did a very good job of getting his feet underneath him and making a good account of himself in the back half of the fight. But yeah, he lost the first half of the fight. Oh, Toby says, I didn't even bother watching the fight, Joe. I'm not going to cast aspersions or blame you, brother. It is Christmas. And yeah. And boy, that was a lot of money to spend, wasn't it? That's why I got the bar that I work at. I host karaoke and DJ every single week. That's why I got them to purchase the fight. Ha ha. But I'll say this. I think the point deduction and the ref choosing not to be as officious as he should have been in warning Lamont Roach of all the holding, taking points away. Once again, guys, what happens when you have a referee who warns a fighter of excessive holding and then eventually takes points away? Look at Thomas Taylor when he officiated Pitbull Cruz versus Rolly Romero. What happened when Pitbull's opponent wasn't allowed to hold anymore? He knocked him out. Guys, I'm sick and tired of seeing it. Once again, why does a fighter hold? To make up for any deficiencies, either being hurt, exhausted, fatigued, or even worse, doesn't know how to fight proficiently on the inside. Doesn't want any part of it. I can't stand that. Look, I thought Lamont Roach did a terrible job of preparation for Pitbull Cruz. You know how he's going to fight. And I'm sick and tired of these guys taking these guys lightly. You know he's going to bring the pressure from start to finish. It's like, didn't he know that? Didn't he watch tape? Like you saw how to win against Pitbull Cruz by watching Rayo Valenzuela. That was a perfect example on how you beat Pitbull Cruz. He could have done that. He's got the skill set. But no, he started believing his own press. He started believing his own BS. Oh, well, I arguably beat Tank Davis, and Tank Davis, boy, he got a clear victory against Pitbull Cruz, even with a broken hand. So you know what? I'm going to do the same thing. Brother Tycho, how are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Merry Christmas. I did pay for Opataya's fight card. Had to support Thomas Stryber. Thank you, my friend. But that was a great knockout, too, wasn't it? You know, Jai Opataya is one of those guys where he's almost like he's more skilled, but he's like a cruiserweight version of Fabio Wardley, where he looks vulnerable until he lays the wood to you. It's like, guys, you have to be on the top of your game. You've got to be focused for all 3 minutes of every round. When you're fighting a guy like Jai Opataya, because he's got that one-hitter quitter. It's like, hey, you're doing well until you aren't. And that's the case when you face Jai Opataya, guys. He's got that, oof. He's got that one-hitter quitter, and it's a beauty. It's a beautiful thing to see, isn't it? And Toby says, I didn't even watch the highlights on YouTube. Oh, that's not nice. I'll tell you what. Also sick and tired of seeing everyone herald O'Shaquie Foster. Oh, that was a masterclass. It's an awful fight, man. Look, when you're defensive-minded and don't want to take any risks, that's not putting forth a masterclass. Once again, I'm always going to resort to one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in boxing as evidence and an example of a true masterclass, and that's Jesse Bam Rodriguez. No matter who he fights, it's going to be all action, and it's going to be all skill. Oh, man, that knockout punch that he delivered in the 10th round against the Argentine, that slip counter, it was a thing of beauty. And he doesn't have to hold. He sits in the pocket and makes you miss and makes you pay. That's the art of the sweet science that we're looking for. That's what we want to see. That's what fans want to see. They don't want to see a bunch of holding. It's nonsense and noise, guys. That's the truth. And honestly, I'm sick of seeing it. Sick to death of seeing it. But yes, thank you for supporting my brother Thomas Stryber, man. He did a great job. Did a great job. And yes, Mick Francis put on a hell of a card. I thought it was a great night of boxing. Or day, anyway. Oh, boy. Let's move on, guys. Let's go to, but yes, I thought Pitbull Cruz deserved the victory. I thought he won the fight. And if it weren't for that point deduction, he would have. I didn't think it was merited. I thought the referee did a terrible job of officiating that bout. Number 6, Fact or Fiction, guys. Oh, no, we already did that one. My apologies. Number 7, Fact or Fiction, guys. Even though the ring title is the real championship title, Terrence Crawford was wrong not to pay the WBC sanctioning fees. Fact or fiction? What say you guys? How do you think? What do you think is the correct answer? That's right, Tobias. Bam took Sonny Edwards to school, and he's a defensive-minded fighter. Yep. There are all kinds of ways that you can force your opponent in adopting the mindset that he has no choice but to fight back and to take those calculated risks. And he knows how to bring that out in each and every one of his opponents, putting them in checkmate, right? So Jesus says fact. What do you guys think? Once again, fact or fiction, guys? Even though the ring title is the real championship title, Terrence Crawford was wrong not to pay the WBC sanctioning fees. Look, guys, that is a big fact. Look, man, that's just bad business. And it says a lot about your character, Terrence. You were fine taking their ring. You remember that big ring that they gave you as the winner of the contest? Not only did you take their belt, but you took that ring that was worth over $100,000. And you had no problem accepting that. Give them back the ring then, too. If you say you're going to compete for their title, you already know what the sanctioning fees are. You want the honor of the being undisputed with every title on the line, but then you renege and don't want to pay for it? Yeah, that's not good, guys. That's bad business. And Mauricio Suleiman is justified in calling him out. And Bud says a lot about your character, son. Oh, you say fiction. Crawford was correct. I'm sorry, in competing for the WBC and then not wanting to pay for it, their sanctioning fees, well, then, you know what? You shouldn't have competed for it. You know, once again, I would have been totally behind Terrence Crawford by saying, hey, you know what? I only want to compete for the ring. Keep your belts, Canelo. I just want to compete for the ring. That's the real championship, and I don't want to pay for any sanctioning fees. And every real fan of boxing will know that I'm undisputed anyway, because that is the lineal championship. The Ring Magazine belt is the real belt and is only on the line if you fight the other perceived bests of the division. If he had said and done that, man, I would be on board and I would have a lot more respect. But when you say, hey, I want to compete for the WBC, they make an expensive diamond and gold ring that is beautiful and exclusive. No one else in the world is going to have it. And then you also compete for their belt and then don't want to pay. That's garbage. That's garbage. Look, I once again, yes, they should have never made it public, but Mauricio Suleiman is justified in making this public because it's, once again, if you want to compete for that title, yeah, you have to pay for it. Why didn't he tell them before the fight? Why didn't he tell them before the fight? It's just like a promoter saying, hey, Terrence, I'm going to pay you $10 million to fight X fighter. And then he only pays him $4 million. Sorry, man. We lost millions of dollars and you're not worth it. So we're not going to pay you even after you already competed for us. What's the difference? Terrence wouldn't stand for that. So why is he standing for that now? If he wasn't going to pay for the sanctioning fees, why did he agree to compete for their title? Why did he accept their ring as the winner of the event? Why didn't he tell them on fight night? Yeah. Agreed. Rocky Balboa. Yes. The ring championship is the real championship, guys. And we've been huge stalwarts of that ever since we went on the air. But if you agree to fight for the title, don't waste everyone's time. You should have told them, hey, you know what? No, I'm not going to pay for that 3%. I'm not going to pay anything. It means nothing to me. Save your money. Save your airfare. Don't come out and sit ringside. Don't come out and support this fight because I'm not going to pay it. In fact, you can tell Canelo he can keep his belt because I'm only interested in taking the ring from him. Why didn't he say that before the fight? Because he wanted the distinction of the WBC. He wanted the distinction of becoming undisputed, but doesn't want to pay for it after he made $50 million from Netflix? Come on. That is just poor character. And honestly, I couldn't care less if he never comes back. We don't need guys like that in the sport. We don't need guys like that in this business. Like I said, I guarantee you he would have made it public if a promoter only wanted to pay him, saying, oh, you know what? We lost money. We're only going to pay you $2 million instead of the $10 million that we promised you. You think he'd have a problem with that? Of course he would. Mauricio Suleiman is justified in airing this and making this public. And no one should be supporting Terrence Crawford in this quandary. Guys, you have to be a man of your word. If you want to compete for that distinction, you've got to pay the fee. If you don't want to pay for the fee, don't compete for the WBC title. Let Canelo keep the belt. That's what Mauricio Suleiman's pissed off about. It's like, hey, wait a minute. Canelo lost and he paid the sanctioning fee. Why didn't you just let him keep the belt then? You prick. Pardon my French. Forgive me, Jesus. Guys, this one's pretty easy to call. Now, once again, I don't like the sanctioning organizations, and I don't like them taking 3% of a fighter's purse, especially when the rankings are terrible. But if that's what you agreed to, then you better stay true to your word. This has always been a gentleman's sport, not one in which you rip people off. And if you have the habit and make it a practice to rip people off, even at the sanctioning organizations, then you know what? We don't want you in boxing. I think Bud's argument was the WBC wanted more money than the other belts, but we don't know. Look. He said to the other sanctioning organizations, this is what I'm going to give you. That's not the way it works, guys. Look, the state athletic commissions already and the promoters already help the fighters out by not claiming your entire purse. They always just give them a smaller amount because the commissions, in accordance with the Muhammad Ali Act, they have to make sure that everyone gets paid, especially the fighters. And to help out the fighters, they never list their actual purse. It's always like 10% of it. To help them out already. And going by that amount, yeah, that's what they did. And Terrence said, you know what? No, I'm not going to pay you that. I'm going to pay you what I give you. And that's it. If you don't like it, tough shit. Have your belts back. It's like, dude, why didn't you tell them this before the fight? You can't do that after you've already won their distinction, after you've already won their title, after they've already come out and sanctioned this bout. You can't do that. That's bad business. And honestly, I don't care to have anyone like that in boxing. And Mauricio isn't wrong when he says, hey, you know what? A good percentage of that money goes to fighters that actually need it through their pension fund. So if I were Terrence Crawford, I would say, hey, you know what? Tell me which fighters those are. I'll give them the money. I'll give them the money. I'll give it to them myself. Tell me which fighters need your help, need my help. Tell me. And I'll help them out directly. But you know what? This is a moot point. Like, honestly, yeah, I was really disappointed in Terrence when he did that. It's like, dude, why didn't you tell them that before the fight? Would have solved everything. You would have made your stand, and it would have been a noble one. No, I don't care about those belts. I'm fighting for the ring. And when I beat Canelo, everyone will know I'm the undisputed champ. I don't need those. Fighters make the titles, not the other way around. I would have said, you know what? I have a lot of respect for Terrence, but this way's cowardly. After he's already made $50 million off the coattails of Canelo Alvarez. Let's be honest, guys. He doesn't make anywhere close to that kind of purse fighting anyone else. That was all because of Canelo. So who the hell do you think you are, Terrence Crawford? You're not the A side. You're not the moneymaker. You should be kissing Canelo's freckled ass, garnering that kind of payday. You're not going to get it anywhere else. Sit your ass down, brother. No one needs you. Oh, I'm the best fighter in boxing. Yeah, okay. Doesn't mean that you sell tickets. Who gives a shit? I could be the best musician in the world. That doesn't mean a damn thing if I can't sell any tickets. The boxing business is run almost exactly like the music industry. If you can't sell tickets, what good are you? You were reliant on Canelo Alvarez. He was the one who was the draw. He was the big time attraction. Go fight Sebastian Fundora. See how many tickets you sell. Go fight Virgil Ortiz. See how many tickets you sell. Go fight Janabek Ali Manala. Go fight Erislandy Lara. See how many tickets you sell. Fight Hamza Shiraz. See how many tickets you sell. Fight David Benavidez. See how many tickets you sell. That was all Canelo, guys. And he's trying to shortchange the WBC after he already took their goods, took their rewards, took their accreditations. That's a shame, man. That's just cowardly. That's not good business, guys. So that's my position on it, guys. And honestly, I don't see how you can see it any other way. If you're not interested in paying for it, don't compete for it. Case closed. But if you compete for it, you better pay. I didn't see you telling, hey, man, no, I don't want to wear this. I don't want to wear your title because I'm not paying the sanction fee. You didn't say that. So anyway, I've talked enough about that. Let's move on, guys. Number 8, Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul will prove to be more competitive than Alexander Usyk versus Deontay Wilder. Fact or fiction, guys? Here comes the hot take. Are you ready? Guys, what do you think? Fact or fiction? What say you, everybody? What do you guys think? Fact or fiction? Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul will prove to be more competitive than Alexander Usyk versus Deontay Wilder. Fact or fiction? Toby says fiction. Are you sure? Are you sure? Guys, Jake Paul is a lot of things, but he's not stupid. There's a reason why he chose Anthony Joshua on short notice, without a camp, after 15, 16 months of inactivity. He's a counterpuncher by trade, guys. James Tony taught me a long time ago. He said, man, that's the reason why I stay in the gym. Because even between fights, even when I don't have a fight scheduled, because, man, that ring rust is real, especially for a counterpuncher. That's why I always stay in the gym. I stay sharp. I stay sparring. Yeah. It's true, guys. And he's going to be just trying to get in shape to make weight, that 245 weight restriction. His timing's going to be terrible. His footwork and his jab are going to be non-existent. Jake Paul's going to use lateral movement. He's going to try to pick his poke. He's going to try to pick and poke his way to hear the final bell. I'm not saying he's going to win, but it's going to be a terrible fight, and it's going to be much more competitive than Alexander Usyk just laying the wood to a shot Deontay Wilder. Guys, Anthony Joshua is obviously on the back nine of his career. And his last time in the ring was a horror show. He flatlined and face planted at the hands of Daniel Dynamite Dubois. His legs weren't underneath him. He looked like shit, and that was after having a real camp. How do you think he's going to look in this fight with only 2 weeks in camp? Guys, Jake Paul's no dummy, and that's why he chose this. 100%. Hey, brother, you know where to see me after December 18th. And I want you to say, yeah, Joseph, you were right. He knew what he was doing. I'll be right here. And look, if Anthony Joshua does what he's supposed to do and knocks him out, I'll tell you, yeah, Jake Paul, as well as myself, made a huge miscalculation. Anthony Joshua is not that, he hasn't slid that far down the totem pole yet. He still has some juice in those legs. He still has that killer right hand. He still has a good jab. His timing is still good. I don't think so, though. There's a reason why Jake Paul was interested in this fight and was in London to see Usyk versus Dubois. He was there to negotiate with Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua. He was talking about making this fight even back then. And I told you that, guys. I told you that it was a real possibility. And you guys are going to see it on December 18th. It's going to be a terrible fight. It's going to be a lot of clinching, a lot of lateral movement, a lot of picking and poking by Jake Paul. And all he has to do is just work on it. Now, keep in mind, guys, he's already had an extensive camp. Yeah, it was against Tank Davis, but the game plan was still the same. Really do his right, continuously turning Anthony Joshua, staying off the ropes, negating that jab. Once again, how do you negate a jab? 2 ways. You either win the jab contest, which he's not going to do, or you use lateral movement. When you use lateral movement, you make the guy who wants to implement his jab more tentative. He's afraid to throw it. You're going to see it on fight night, guys. It's going to be a terrible fight. But it's going to go the distance. And Jake Paul may win a decision. I know that's the unpopular choice. That's the unpopular opinion. But you guys are going to see it. I think Anthony Joshua is going to win, but it's going to go the distance and it's going to embarrass him. He's going to look like a shot fighter. That's my prediction, guys. Crawford said that the WBC wanted more than the other sanctioning bodies. They wanted 3%. That's what Crawford agreed to. Not, hey, you're going to take whatever I give you, and that's going to be good enough for you. Now, the other sanctioning organizations may have agreed to that, after the fact, after he fought for their titles. But the WBC is like, hey, you know what? That money's already accounted for. That's not good enough. Give us back the ring then that we gave you. Give it back. He's not going to do that, though. That's poor business. That's not good business. Yes, Usyk's going to be fighting Wilder. And you know what? I can't blame Alexander Usyk. He's been accepting fights and not calling the shots, even though he is the man. He's not the biggest ticket seller in the division, but he is the man holding all the titles. Well, all the titles except for one. But he is, in my mind, the best and the undisputed champ of the division at this time. And he's been having to go in other people's backyards to prove his mettle. He's done a great job. So, you know what? I think he's allowed, with everything that he's accomplished in this business, in this sport, I think he's due that he can pick and choose whomever he wants to fight. And if he chooses Deontay Wilder, the other major title holder in his era, then yes, I don't see anything wrong with that. Let's go back to the fact or fiction, guys. The question was, is Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul going to prove to be more competitive than Alexander Usyk versus Deontay Wilder? Yes, it will. Deontay shot, and you're going to see it. Alexander Usyk is going to make light work of Deontay Wilder, who doesn't have any legs anymore. Dude, if he thought Terrell Herndon was tough, he's in trouble. He is in serious trouble, guys. So, yes, I say fact. Number 9, fact or fiction, guys. Terrence Crawford might as well announce his retirement now if he's serious about not getting back in the ring for anything less than his steep $100 million price tag. Fact or fiction? Well, he better hope that Jake Paul wins, because if not, that fight against Terrence Crawford, Jake Paul is not going to be worth $100 million. No one's going to want to see that shit. If Jake Paul gets stretched like everyone thinks he is, if he gets knocked out, who's going to want to pay for that? Netflix? No. Where else is Terrence Crawford going to get $100 million to step back in the ring? Not even against Canelo, guys. Is anyone interested in seeing a rematch between Canelo and Crawford for that much money? No. Brother, everything that you were going to accomplish in boxing has already happened then. It's been nice knowing you, Terrence, but we don't need you if you're going to hold the sport hostage like that. Peter Von Arx, he sees the light. Usyk's going to wipe up the floor with Wilder. Terrence, brother, you're bad for business. You're a prima donna, and you think the sport owes you something. Brother, you have made so much money in this business and held negotiations and matchups hostage until you get your way. No one needs you. And we definitely don't need a non-ticket seller trying to call the shots in this business. Sit down. No one cares. Hey, why aren't you fighting Janabek then? Why aren't you fighting Erislandy Lara for a title at 160? Because you know it's not going to yield that kind of money. No one cares. Go away. Thanks for the memories. Guys, let's move on to number 10. Fact or fiction, guys. Golden Boy might as well make the fight with Ortiz-Ennis showdown at this time. Without a date on Netflix or a more mainstream accessible platform, the matchup won't get any bigger. Fact or fiction? What say you guys? Peter, he should have given the WBC the 3% that he agreed to before the fight. He made 50 million rock. And he can't give 3%? The 3% and not even the $50 million. I think it's 3% of 10. That's 300,000. He can't afford 300,000 to carry their title. He fought for it. Like, guys, I can't believe that people are even arguing about this. This is open and shut, guys. In any business, if this is what you agree to before the fight, during the fight, and after the fight, then damn it, you better stay true to your word, or no one's going to want to work with you. Once again, if it were a promoter balking on his guaranteed purse, saying the same thing, hey, you know what, Terrence, we lost money. We're not going to give you the 10 million that we offered you. We're only going to pay you 3 million because we lost money. What do you think Terrence would have said? Screw you, I want my money. And I'm going to take you to court to get it. Anytime you have to rationalize ripping somebody off after you've already agreed to it, to the terms, that's not good business, guys. And we don't need that in the sport of boxing. We don't need that in the sport of boxing. Now, once again, I'm going to say this for the last time. I would be in full agreement with Terrence if he had stood his ground and told them before the fight, no, don't keep your belt. I'm going to be competing for the ring, and I'm not going to pay your sanctioning fees. Because I don't think it's right that you tax these hardworking fighters. And to make a statement, I don't care about your title. Because I'm not going to pay you 3% of my purse. I worked too hard my entire career to give it away. If he had said that before the fight, I would stand up and give a round of applause to Terrence Crawford. But he didn't now, did he? He wanted to be undisputed champ. Well, dude, if you want to carry that distinction and fight for it, you've got to pay the tax. That's it. End of story. That's right. If he agreed to it, he should have paid it. He's reneging on his obligations. We don't need that in boxing, guys. De La Hoya is absolutely right. He agrees with me. Hey, man, if you're going to compete with the same belt that Ali carried, then damn it, pay for it. You made enough money. What, you didn't make enough? $50 million isn't enough? That's just terrible, man. That's just terrible. I wouldn't go that far, but he is a poor businessman. That's terrible. That's not the way you do business. But once again, it's not a criminal matter. It's a civil matter. Yeah, he paid them what he wanted to pay him, not the 3% that was agreed upon. And they took it. Mauricio, he stood his ground. He said, you know what, that's not right. You agreed to this, Terrence. You've known what the sanctioning fees are going to be. We haven't changed them. Why didn't you tell us this before the fight? Before we made that ring that was exorbitant amount of money put into it? Why did you take that ring? Why did you take our belt when you had no intention of paying for it? Yeah, he's acting like a crook. He's acting like Don King. With that said, I hope everyone learns from this. That when you get to the point of your career where the belts don't matter, then you know what? Tell them. Say, hey, you know what? To make a statement, I don't need your title. I'm going to fight for the ring. The ring doesn't tax these hardworking fighters. Make an example that way. But there is no honor and no justification in telling them one thing and then reneging on the deal and not paying them. That's just bad business. It's a bad look for our sport. Terrible. Terrible. So anyway, guys, what did we learn today? Terrence Crawford is a piece of shit? Is that what we learned? Well, I've known that for a long time. He's a great fighter, but he's a terrible person to do business with. Terrible. And he's not worth the trouble. Hope everyone realizes that now. He is a pain in the ass. And the only one who's willing to pay him at this time is Turki Al-Sheikh. And I hope Turki Al-Sheikh has learned from doing business with Terrence. It's like a bad slot machine that never pays out. He's going to demand exorbitant amounts of money and put forth a very, at best, uneventful fight. He's going to have a safety first mentality. And it's not going to make new fans of the sport. And he puts everyone in a position who works with him in a position where they're guaranteed to lose money. That's right. If he had done that, Hawker, I would give up and give a round of applause to Terrence Crawford. I would say here, here. But he didn't. That's right. There's no difference. No difference. That's a perfect analogy. That's right. That is a perfect analogy. That's what he should have done. But Terrence is acting like a thug. Oh, man, I don't care what you say. I'm not going to pay it. Well, then why did you compete for it then, you dummy? That's making you look like a crook, like a gangster, a scumbag. Yep, that's the perfect analogy. It's not good business. And no one in boxing needs that crap. Guys, what do you think about Mario Barrios choosing Garcia's former trainer, Joe Goosen? What do you think, guys? You think that's a good move or no? Guys, I think this is a great move. And once again, he's going to need more than one camp to show improvement under the tutelage of Joe Goosen, but he has the opportunity to learn more. And look, his head trainer, Bob Santos, that's who he studied under, Joe Goosen. He learned all of it from Joe. That is right. And they're going to win in court. Chief Funky. I'm sitting at the table with the high individuals. Yeah, high on crack. Chingao, man. No one needs that attitude in boxing. Good riddance, Terrence. Nice knowing you. Thanks for the memories. You're a great fighter, but a scumbag in person. You are no one to dictate terms. Yep. That's right. And more than likely, they're going to sue him. I know I would. But once again, in a civil matter, good luck getting that money. Just because you win a piece of paper that says, oh, it's a judgment, and you owe this person money, good luck collecting. Guys, I know I'm in collections. It's what I do. He's never going to pay. Terrence is a scumbag, a Class A scumbag. Class A scumbag, yes. Peter Von Arx, you need a writ of garnishment, and only the state can get that. Only the state can tax your wages. A writ of garnishment is very difficult to get unless you're the state. IRS can get a writ of garnishment. Government can get a writ of garnishment. It's very difficult. I know. I'm in collections, brother. No, Dan passed away. It's Joe Goosen. And Joe Goosen is one of the best trainers in boxing. He's a Hall of Famer for a reason. I know, brother. I've been there. Once again, that's my specialty. Locating assets and trying to get a writ of garnishment. It's very difficult. Unless you're the government. You need a judge to sign off on it. Yes, I do commercial collections. You have a letter of what? You have a judge that signed off on a writ of garnishment? Takes an act of God to get that. No judge is going to sign off on that if it's a civil matter. Look, they may be able to do it. They have a case. They know how much he made. He made $50 million and he wasn't willing to pay these sanctioning fees. It depends on the judge, guys. You think any liberal judge would sign off on that, Peter? Taking a black man's money? And yes, Hawker, Crawford has been doing his best Clarissa Shields impression. That entitled victim mentality. I'm sick of it. Yeah, Hawker, when's a black man going to get a break in the sport of boxing? Sick of hearing it. No room for that in our business. Sick of it. With that said, guys, if you're in the San Antonio area, I'm going to be ring announcing this Saturday at the Shriner Auditorium, care of South Park Boxing and AAA Promotions. Guys, if you're in the South Texas area, come to San Antonio. Tickets are as low as $40, I think. Yeah, because they're not in this business, dude. But look, I've been on the other end. I have been ripped off so many times. That's why I quit this business for about 5 years and started playing music again, full time. Because I'm sick and tired of justifying or hearing people justify why they should rip someone off. This is what you agreed to. This is why I stopped working with fighters, doing PR, because they never wanted to pay me. This is why I'm very selective in the promoters that I work with. Because I've been ripped off and been having to act like a collector when trying to get what I've earned. Most people have been defending Crawford because they're not in this business. And the ones who are defending him and are in this business, yeah, they're trying to suck up the Dana White like Max Kellerman. He's got an agenda. But everyone else, come on, man. How long has Terrence Crawford been in this business? He has had no problem paying the same. That's like a fighter saying, you know what, to a trainer. That's like a fighter telling a trainer, hey, you know what, now I'm making some real coin. I don't think I want to pay you 10% anymore. Even after the sacrifices he made, working basically for no money. That's what Gennady Golovkin did to Abel Sanchez. Did you agree with that? Was that the right thing to do? No, I don't want to pay you 10% anymore. I'm making millions now. I want to pay you less than 10%, even though you were in my corner when I was making peanuts doing it for 10%. It's an investment, guys. And for Golovkin to do that to Abel Sanchez, yeah, I didn't agree with it then. So now that Terrence Crawford is making the big green, he's refusing to pay these sanctioning fees? Kiss my ass. You shouldn't have competed for the title then. You shouldn't have agreed to compete for all titles to become undisputed champion. You should have let Canelo keep his title. So now who's going to be competing for the vacant title? It's going to be what? Hamza Shiraz versus Christian Mbili? Good. Great fight. But WBC's not happy with that. They're like, dude, if you weren't going to pay it, you should have let Canelo keep the title. It's worth a lot more around his waist anyway. Why did you waste our time? That's right. That's absolutely right, Hawker. Now you get it. You're getting what I'm laying down. And yes, Peter, that's a great scrap. Guys, if you're able to, I know it's during work hours for some of y'all. But if you're able, I'm going to put down the link. Let me know what you think about the idea of on the 27th, Naoya Inoue and Junto Nakatani are going to be announcing their imminent showdown at 122 pounds at the Tokyo Egg Dome after they win. Yep, scumbag. Scumbag. And Terrence Crawford. Guys, it's my pleasure to introduce to the stage Peter Von Arx. How you doing, Peter?
Hi, Joseph.
Merry Christmas, my friend.
Merry Christmas to you, bro.
Thank you, my brother.
I've been shoveling snow all day. We got hit with snow last night, and then yesterday, and my snow blower broke. And it's been a nightmare, man.
I'm so sorry, brother, but hey, you chose to live there.
Well, yeah, I'm from here.
You could move to San Antonio, where it's 74 degrees right now. Beautiful.
74 degrees where?
San Antonio.
Okay.
No. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. It's 70 degrees.
Well, you see?
Yeah.
It's 26 here, bro.
Yep. I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same boat, Hawker. Listen to this, Peter. What say you about this? He said, I was a big Golovkin fan, but he did Abel Sanchez wrong. I agree wholeheartedly. Yep. Gennady Golovkin.
Yeah.
Demanding
guys,
after the fact, after Abel Sanchez had invested all this time in helping Gennady Golovkin get to that point where he could make some real life-changing money. As a result, he said, Abel, I'm sorry, I'm not going to give you 10% anymore. I want you to take less. Take it or leave it. On principle, Abel said, fuck you. Yeah. Pardon my French, guys. But he was justified in saying that. And Mauricio Suleiman is justified in saying, fuck you, Terrence Crawford.
Well, Mauricio Suleiman, I was going to say, he can recoup that in a civil suit, and he can collect on it because they got powerful lawyers. It's just like when they go after somebody, say a guy's got a hospital bill for $6,000, and the hospital turns it over, which they always do, turn it over to an attorney's firm. And of course, attorney's firm can go ahead and sue anybody anytime you want. Of course, you can counter claim on them, but most people don't. They get scared when they see the letter, and so they just end up getting their check garnished. And these attorneys firms, man, they're powerful now. They know these judges. That's their store.
Yeah,
it's not like.
I'll tell you what's going to happen with this. Mauricio and Crawford are going to settle on an amount. That's what's going to
Well,
happen, but it's not going to be publicized. And Crawford, as a result, is going to force Mauricio Suleiman say, look, we're going to do a settlement, but I want you to adhere to a non-disclosure covenant. Now, I don't want you to talk about it. I don't want you to say anything slanderous, because then you'll be in breach. That's what's going to happen. That's what always happens, Peter.
oh, okay. Yeah, because I can't see him getting away with, if he
No,
agreed,
with all
if
of
you
the money
agreed
that
to it,
he's
bro.
made, and he agreed to it. He fought for the title. He took their ring. You remember that big, beautiful ring that opened up that he was awarded by the WBC after the fight?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say, hey, no, I don't want this ring because I'm not going to pay the fee. He never said that. He took it and he wore it. He still has it.
Joe, I got to just say that even if he didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, if he didn't adhere and have enough integrity to honor his agreement,
Yep.
I mean,
That's
if
it.
a man can't shake another man's hand and stand by his word, you got an unreliable partner there, and you don't want to turn your back on him.
That's my point. That's been my point the entire time, and I can't believe fans are taking Terrence Crawford's side in this. That's pathetic.
Well, I did at one time, but I didn't know he agreed to it. See, I
Yep.
thought that they wanted, because I saw Terrence Crawford talking about it, and he said, well, they wanted more than the other sanctioning bodies, and I paid the other sanctioning bodies. And I thought to myself, and then right away, my brain goes back to Floyd talking about how much money these sanctioning bodies take. And I thought, yeah, that is a lot of money just to hold onto a belt. But if he made the agreement, Joseph, come on.
Yep, he did.
You know what I'm saying?
And the other sanctioned organizations, Bud Crawford, the reality is, he said, you know what? I'm not going to pay 3%, but I'll give you this. Take it or leave it. And they took it, except for the WBC.
Okay.
WBC is justifying standing firm on there. And once again, they're not taking 3% of 50 million. They're taking the 3% that was reported to the state commission, which was only 10.
Right.
That's 300,000. Right. And that ring that they gave him is worth over $100,000.
Well, you should give the ring back.
Yep. He's not going to, though.
You should give the ring back, and or the WBC, yeah, because but you see, here's the deal on I've been to court over this stuff. If you got a verbal agreement with somebody and you have witnesses at hand that can testify to the fact, you're going to lose.
That's right. You're going to lose. Once again, Terrence Crawford's going to end up paying, but it's going to be settled out of court. That's the way it always happens. And this is nothing new, guys. People take each other to court in this business all the time.
Oh, I believe it.
Technically, no, he's not undisputed. Just like technically Usyk is not undisputed any longer because he ditched that WBO title, but he won it. He won all 4 titles at the time.
Yeah.
But is he undisputed now? No. But look, in the mind of you, me, and every other real fan of boxing, do we recognize Terrence as being the undisputed king at 168 at this time? Yes.
Definitely. Yes. Yeah, but I don't think he's ever going to fight at 168 again.
The man. You know what, dude? I'm sick and tired of hearing that. What is this sport going to, if we have every fighter, quote unquote, sticking it to the man, the ones who pay the bills and pay these exorbitant purses and lose money consistently, what's going to happen if everyone sticks it to the man? We're not going to have a sport. It's stupid. Guys, pick and choose your battles in this business. That's not one that he should be battling. What he should be doing is saying, yeah, you know what? I'm going to pay it this time because I agreed to it. But you know what? Never again. Never again. I'm not interested in fighting for any other world title. I've already won them. Been there, done that. But from this point forward, the only title I'm willing to compete for is the ring, because that's the one that matters, and they do not tax these hardworking fighters. If he were to say that, I'd be in full agreement with Terrence Crawford. But he didn't. And he's not.
Yeah, he didn't.
He's acting like a coward.
Well, he's acting like an unreliable partner.
He's
Let's put
acting
it
like a
that way.
scumbag is what he's doing.
Still.
He's not, dude. He's acting like a scumbag. So let's change gears, guys. Let's go back to this, okay? Let's go back to this one. This is a problem. Number 10, Golden Boy, Fact or Fiction, brother. Golden Boy might as well make the Ortiz-Ennis showdown at this time, because without a TV date on Netflix or a more mainstream accessible platform, the matchup won't get any bigger. No matter how many times they fight on DAZN, it's not going to get any bigger. That's a fact. And that's why at this time, Matchroom is negotiating with Golden Boy, and it looks like they're going to make the fight for late spring, early summer next year.
Extraordinary.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah,
So
that'd be a great fight.
Let's, instead of the business, let's talk about the matchups. Who do you like in this pairing, Peter?
Who? I'm going for. That's really a tough one, man.
Hold on, I didn't say who you're going for. Who's going to win?
Oh God. Okay. I'm just going to go with the gut feeling right now. I say Virgil wins.
Thank you for admitting that, Hawker. I don't agree with you most of the time either. But yes, thank you for that. Thank you for your endorsement of actually being reasonable at this time. Love you, Hawker. Thank you, brother, for tuning in. You're going with whom?
Virgil.
Why?
Because he's a great fighter. He's big. He's fast. I think has as much ring generalship as Boots does. Boots got a different style or a different look, but it basically comes down to the same thing, a jab. And I think Virgil hits harder, to tell you the truth. I think he hits a lot harder.
Look, Boots, he's got that one-hitter quitter also, man. He's got power. He's got skill. He's got size, athleticism, speed. He's got it all, but so does Virgil Ortiz. Now, Virgil Ortiz is not as technically proficient in all areas as Boots Ennis, but he has one of the most deceptively crafty jabs in boxing. And he understands range just as well as Boots Ennis. Put it this way, guys. Neither man has fought anyone near the caliber of their opponent up until this point. This is what makes this fight so intriguing. You can make the case that Boots has never fought anyone on the level of Virgil Ortiz, but vice versa.
Yep.
Ortiz has never fought anyone even close to the level. And how do you prepare for someone like that in sparring? That's what makes this fight so intriguing, guys. And I'm with you. I think it's a 50-50 fight. But I think everyone is looking past Virgil Ortiz in this.
I'm not.
Guys, Boots Ennis. I know you're not. I'm saying to most fans and even most pundits. Guys, Virgil Ortiz, he has a really crafty jab and his body work. Once again, Boots Ennis is going to have to show much more defensive responsibility in this fight than he has in the past, because he's never fought a guy with that kind of power. And he's used to being a lot more liberal with his offense, a lot of times putting himself in harm's way.
Yeah, he gets hit. He gets hit.
And he knows, and he's got a good chin, and he knows that he's going to hit you harder than you're hitting him, but that's not the case in this matchup. Guys, this is a great fight, and if I had to call it, I'm with you, Peter. I think Virgil Ortiz is going to shock him.
Oh, you're on the winning end then, because I usually pick him pretty good.
Oh, Chingao, dude. Don't measure your penis size with me on the air, brother. Stop it.
Hey, listen, I'll tell you what, that Mabili Shiraz fight.
Oh, that's a smoker, isn't it?
Oh, I tell you what, I've seen Mabili get rocked, and he just comes back 100 miles an hour. That guy is nuts.
And honestly, I'm favoring Christian Mbili in this one, and I'll tell you why.
Me too.
With the defensive lapses that Christian Mbili has, he makes up for it with tenacity, volume, and here's the X factor. Hamzat Shiraz takes a minute to get started. Christian
Yep.
Mbili, it's not a luxury when you're facing Christian Mbili. He's going to be right in your chest from the opening bell on. You better put on your hard hat and get ready to work. Because if you're not, it's going to be a long day at the office.
Oh,
Ask
it's
Lamont
gonna.
Roach. Ask Lamont
Hey,
Roach. He wasn't prepared for that tenacity against Pitbull Cruz on Saturday night. Peter, how did you see that one playing out? Did you think Pitbull Cruz deserved the nod?
yeah, I think he did. I thought he did enough. But that was brutal, wasn't it? Man,
I thought it
that
was
was
a
a
great
that,
fight. I wasn't a fan of all the holding from Lamont Roach.
Pitbull. Man, Pitbull seems like he can hit harder than he used to.
Well, at 140, when he doesn't have to kill himself to make weight, yeah.
Yeah, he's a nice
And
kid too.
especially with a stationary target like Lamont Roach. Like Lamont, I think, honestly, it shocked him. I think he was looking past Pitbull Cruz. That's the way it seemed in the first half of the fight anyway. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
you know this about Pitbull Cruz. The blueprint's already out on how to beat him. You did none of it. Like you didn't study any fight tape. Like you were too busy reading your own ink of the Tank Davis fight. Believe in your own bullshit that you're better. It's like, dude,
Well, I didn't think
it almost cost him, man.
Tank beat Pitbull that fight. That one was really sketchy.
Yeah, well, Tank Davis, I thought it did enough to win a decision, but I told everyone before that fight that it was going to go to the distance that you can't knock out Pitbull Cruz. That guy's got no neck. You can't shake his brain. He's going to
I
keep
knew he
coming,
wasn't.
coming.
I said it a million times. Pitbull is going to take it. It's going to be a fight, man, because you're not going to knock Pitbull out. Pitbull is dangerous, man.
Yep.
He's and that wild left hook he throws, it comes hard, man. It comes real hard. You know?
Yeah, I thought Lamont Roach made the proper adjustment in the second half of the fight, but I had Pitbull Cruz winning 7 rounds to 5, maybe 8 rounds to 4.
I had 7. I was thinking more 7-5, but yeah, Pitbull clearly took it. And I was listening to an interview of Roach, and he said, "We have to do something about these judges." Well, okay.
But dude, honestly, I understand him complaining about the draw in the last fight, but in this fight, he should send him a nice fruit basket for Christmas. Because Cruz, I thought, did enough to win.
Yeah, a big cheese tray.
But it was a great fight.
Oh, it's great. Oh, yeah.
Pay-per-view buys, Yard versus Benavidez sold. Yes. Yard versus Benavidez sold about 70,000 purchases. That's it.
I thought the Ramos fight. Who did Jesus Ramos fight right before that?
Sugar Shane Mosley Jr. I thought it was an excellent scrap too.
That was a great fight, man.
And you know what? I give a lot of credit to Sugar Shane Jr. because, yeah, man, he really showed his mettle. He didn't get starched. I thought he was going to get knocked out.
Yeah, he was. I've never seen him fight that good. I've never seen him fight that good. You know, but he was really fighting his ass off, you know, because Ramos was after him, man.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was a great fight, too. Hey, and how about the knockout of the night? Frank Martin flatlining old man Rancis Barthélemy. Dude, that was a scary knockout, man.
I know, man. I know it was wicked. Yeah, I was up and down off the chair, running around the kitchen here. You know, you're kind of excited watching those fights.
Yeah, unfortunately, Daisy, even with moving the time to cater to an American market, it didn't do but around 70,000 purchases. Once again, guys, it's pointless to put these things on pay-per-view. That's why DAZN made the decision to give everyone the option of the premium package to pay $45 a month, and they don't have to worry about any pay-per-view fees. They want more people to see it because every boxing fan is seeing it, but they're not paying for it. The overwhelming majority of diehard fans are streaming these things illegally. So if you want to support your financial, or if you want to support your beloved pastime boxing, pay for the premium package on DAZN. Excuse me. Oh, look, we
I
have
think,
great
and
weather. We have great weather here in South Texas, but where I live, the mountain sea is horrific. It's kicking my ass, dude.
yeah, well, you don't have to worry about that here. You just have
Oh.
to worry about getting out the door.
Yeah, I know. I used to live in Fort Lost in the Woods, Missouri. It was brutal
Yeah,
then too.
I watch people walk by the frontier slipping and falling on their hind end. And if I don't get it shoveled, the city will come along and charge me $150 on my property tax. So I gotta have a snowblower. And then
Yeah.
Rose lives down at the end of the block, and her husband is like really old. He can't shovel. So I always go down to the end of the block and get her. And then Jules next door, I get those guys because her husband's got a bad back, but at least she makes me a pie. So
Right on, brother. Well, I tell you what, man. Let's get back to boxing now. Daisy, think about how stacked that card was. By far, from top to bottom, the best card of the year, and it only did 70,000 purchases. So next time I hear a fan say, "Oh man, I'm not paying for that, man. That card is terrible." Really? Well, what happened with Yard versus Benavidez? Had Devin Haney Norman Jr. Had Bam versus the Argentine. Had Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes. That
was a
card
great
was
fight.
stacked. That whole card was awesome. Well, except for the Haney Norman fight. I knew that was going to be a bunch of clinching. But it was still a great performance by Haney.
Yeah.
He didn't have to win, and he won it easily. At least he made it look easy with all the holding.
That was a really good card, Joseph.
Yep, and it only did around 70. Hold on. I don't know, guys. I don't know, maybe. Because Pitbull's a very popular fighter in the Southwest American market. So we'll see. I can tell you this. I was pleasantly surprised with all the fans that turned out. There were, from what I was told, I think there was over 12,000, 13,000 in the AT&T Center, home of the Spurs.
Wow.
That's a good crowd for a mainstream market. And let's just face it, it wasn't a huge fight.
Pitbull's a likable guy. He gets out there and does business. He's what every fight fan.
And he doesn't tie up like a bitch.
I know fight fans love the guy. I mean, if you're a fight fan and you don't like Pitbull, you got to be crazy.
And look, there were a lot of stars in San Antonio this weekend. So a lot of people turned up to watch Lamont versus Pitbull. We'll see. I'll find out by the end of the week how well it did, Daisy, and I'll give you guys a number, okay?
I thought it was good.
Yeah, Daisy. It was all Pitbull Cruz. Because it wasn't a good card. I mean, I thought it was a good card. Some of the fights played out, but come on. Why did you put Erislandy Lotta on there?
Yeah, that guy.
Shocky Foster, who couldn't sell at my living room on a Saturday night versus Stephen Fulton.
He beat Fulton, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, dude, easily. Fulton had trouble making weight, and that's the problem. When you are that inactive, and it comes time to have a full camp, it's hard. These guys don't stay sharp because they're sitting on the shelf for a year at a time. It's hard to get up for these assignments when you only fight once every year or year and a half. When was his last fight? Against Brandon Figueroa?
No, it was
a year ago?
I thought he fought Inoue and got knocked out, didn't he?
No, that was a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay.
His last fight was against Brandon Figueroa at 30. And he
I'll tell you
easily
that
won that fight. He easily outboxed Brandon. Yep.
that
How long ago
that
was
Jake
that, Daisy?
Paul.
How long ago was that, Daisy? A year ago? Yeah, when you're that inactive, it's very difficult to, one, get the most out of your camp and not turn it into a fat camp. So, yeah, he didn't prepare for O'Shaquie Foster. And look, let's just be honest. You're pitching now 2 counterpunches against each other. So Stephen Fulton, because O'Shaquie's like a Cuban, he's never going to take the lead. Never. And so now you're putting Stephen Fulton at a disadvantage, forcing him to take the lead when he's not grown. He's not proficient in doing so. So it's going to make for a terrible fight. One-sided. Foster lives and trains out of Houston, Texas, and no one cares. And why? Because he adopts that defensive style. He fights like Erislandy Lara. No one cares about that shit. No one wants to see it. Peter, do you want to see that shit?
Not really.
No. You want to see guys let their balls hang in the center of the ring and fight like men.
Yeah. Well, that's what it is a fight. I mean, there's boxing. The boxing is a science, but it comes right down to brutal. You know, if you're going to hit somebody, you might as well hit them as hard as you can, and you're in a fight. You know.
Yeah, like guys, look, if it's just like a music listener. If you're a fan of the Doobie Brothers, you're not going to be a huge fan of King Crimson. Even though it's more technically proficient and much better musicians play, and not discounting anything the Doobies do. I think they're great. They're Hall of Famers. I love the Doobies. But King Crimson, that's a different animal. You have to be elite level virtuoso musician to play for King Crimson. And who cares? It's not going to be your cup of tea. That's the equivalent here. If you're a defensive-minded specialist who looks like you're afraid to get hit, yeah, good luck. You just lost the Mexican audience. Because Mexicanos want to see a fight. I'm going to quote a friend of mine who we watched a pay-per-view together. It was Canelo versus Charlo. And he goes, see, Joseph, this is why I'm just checked out from boxing years ago, because, you know, maybe I'm weird. Maybe I don't know what I'm looking at. But I actually want to see more fight in my fights. He told me that, and he's not lying. That's the way most mainstream and casual fans feel. That's definitely how most ticket sellers or ticket purchasers, ticket holders, that's how they feel. If you want to attract people to your fights, you better throw down. You better give them something to talk about, something to remember from that expensive evening. Because I tell you what, after purchasing the ticket, buying your first beer, paying for parking, paying for the babysitter, you've already spent good $400 or $500. You better give them something that's memorable, something that they're going to be talking about for years. Hey, man, I saw that fight. That was incredible. Man, I don't know how those guys do it. But that's not what you get with guys like Devin Haney. That's not what you get with guys like O'Shaquie Foster. That's not what you get from guys like Richardson Hitchens, who wants to fight Teofimo Lopez or Ryan Garcia. Sorry, brother, you're not going to get him because you can't sell tickets and you're a boring piece of shit in the ring. Sorry.
You know that Jake Paul Joshua fight. I got to tell you, I think Joshua's going to hurt the boy. I think he's going to hurt him bad. I don't think Jake Paul can run far enough. I don't think Joshua's legs are that shot. They may be. He might not have been in the ring, but I'll tell you what, he's going to catch him.
Look, the Anthony Joshua of 5 or 6 years ago. Yes, that guy would hurt him badly. This guy, look, Jake Paul's not a dummy. His legs aren't there anymore. He doesn't have a great chin. He doesn't even use his jab the way he should.
Well, then at least we'll get a knockout with Usyk and Wilder, because if Jake Paul runs the whole time like when he ran from Mike Tyson, because Tyson could have knocked him out easy.
Look,
Jake Paul does was stroke and
I
run,
told you
stroke
guys
and
before
run.
that.
You know,
Look, I told you guys that before the fight. Jake Paul, look, Mike Tyson had no chance. Mike
no, I know
Tyson,
he did.
look, dude, 60-year-old man. Come on. He had no chance. He had no business being in that ring. And Jake Paul carried him in the second half of the fight.
Yeah, that Jake.
That's what I'm saying. Jake Paul is no dummy. There's a reason why he's making this fight happen.
God,
It's going to go the distance. Mark my words, guys. And it's going to be a horrible fight in which he's going to be using lateral movement, picking and poking with the jab. And Anthony Joshua is not going to be able to do anything about it because he's not an effective aggressor. He's a counterpuncher by trade, and his timing is off after 1, not having a camp. 2, being inactive for over 15 months.
How old is he?
I think he's 33, but he's an older 30.
Didn't Anderson Silva beat Jake Paul? And he's like 40.
No, Anderson Silva got beaten by Jake Paul. Anderson Silva beat Julio Cesar Chavez Mijo.
Oh, okay.
Jake Paul beat Anderson Silva. Once again, guys, Jake Paul knows what he's doing. He picks and chooses his battles wisely. And mark my words, guys. I'm not saying he's going to beat Anthony Joshua, but it's going to be a lot more competitive than everyone thinks, and it's going to go the distance. So I don't want to hear this crying. Oh, that was rigged. That was fixed. No way, Anthony Joshua. Man, no. Just like after the Tyson fight. I told everyone that Tyson didn't deserve to be in the ring. He's old and he had no chance of beating Jake Paul. What happened?
I wish he wouldn't have done that. I wish he wouldn't have done that, man.
And I'm telling you this right now, guys. Anthony Joshua is pretty much a shot fighter. He face planted against Daniel Dubois. Okay? He's got no legs underneath him any longer. He and Deontay should be fighting.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight.
2 shot fighters who can punch with no chin and no legs underneath them. Jake Paul is going to go the distance here, guys. Mark my words. In fact, if you're going to be taking bets, bet on a decision victory for Anthony Joshua. Not a knockout.
It's going to be Jake is going to be running all night.
Yep. And Anthony Joshua's never been an effective aggressor. He doesn't know how to cut off the ring and close a distance effectively. He doesn't know how to pursue intelligently behind the jab. And he's shot.
Okay.
Guys, I promise you, Jake Paul's going to win at least 3 rounds. And it's going to go the distance. You might even see a draw.
Unbelievable.
Again, guys, I'm pretty good at this. There's a reason why he's saying, okay, yeah, you have to make the 245-pound cap. So the 3 weeks that he actually has to prepare, he's trying to get into shape and make the weight. He's not focusing on fighting. He's going to look terrible. His timing's going to be way off because he hasn't had a camp. And he's shot anyway. He's going to look like shit. He's an old 33, brother. Look how many times he's been knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, he's been in some wars, I can say that.
He has exchanged some hard leather. He's an old 33. And in his last outing, he took a beating. He face planted. Guys, when you face plant, it's all over. Look at Deontay Wilder. He's never been the same after face planting against Tyson Fury. Hawker, That's like apples and oranges. Look how much punishment Usyk has taken compared to Joshua. None. Usyk is going to wipe up the floor with Deontay Wilder.
He'll knock him out.
He's 38, and he's still going to knock out and box circles around the Bronze Bomber. Look what he just did to Daniel Dubois. You can't compare the two. Anthony Joshua just face planted in his last fight, and he looked like shit. Had no legs underneath him, never used his jab, was rocked in the first round. Jake Paul knows this. Guys, he is no dummy. Surely you've ascertained this by now.
God irritates me.
Guys, I feel like I'm the bearer of bad news tonight.
He irritates me.
You have to understand. This is a business. And he would not put himself in this position if Anthony Joshua were half the fighter he used to be.
Yeah, but he's going to run all night.
And Anthony Joshua, if he were still the same, he would be able to do something about it. But he's not. And without a camp, yeah, best of luck. His timing's going to be off. Way off.
He's not even going to have a camp?
Nope. Oh, he says, I've been training with Usyk's camp for months. Bullshit. He's saying that to promote this fight. What did Fury say when he didn't train for Francis Ngannou? I had a camp for 3 months. No, you didn't, and it showed. Oh my gosh, dude, you don't even have to say that. And of course he's not. But the Anthony Joshua who fought Alexander Usyk doesn't exist any longer, Hawker. That guy has come and gone. He is a shell of himself, and you're going to see it. He's going to look like hot garbage against Jake Paul. His timing, he's going to be tentative. He's going to be looking to land that big right hand, and he's not going to be able to set it up because his timing is shit right now. And he's got no legs underneath him. Anthony's legs are gone, guys. And you're going to see it. He's not going to be able to cut off the ring and close the distance effectively. This is going to be a shockingly competitive fight, guys. I promise you. Like I said, Jake Paul's no dummy. And everyone's going to be pissed. I can say Eddie Hearn is going to be shocked. Eddie Hearn thinks this is going to be easy money. Yeah. Tyson Fury thought the same thing before he stepped in the ring with Francis Ngannou without a camp. He looked like a fat tub of lard who didn't know how to fight. Anthony Joshua is going to look similar minus the fat tub of lard. But he's going to look like he doesn't know how to fight. His timing's going to be off. And I know this to be true, guys. And you're going to see it. Guys, let's talk about this. This is a great topic, Daisy. Thank you for bringing this up. Yes, it's true. A deal has already been made for Benavidez fighting Zurdo Ramirez on May 2nd of next year. Because Canelo's going to be out nursing a surgically repaired wrist and hand. He's going to be for the Mile weekend. And this is a great matchup for the Cinco de Mayo weekend. And this is exactly what should happen. A real Mexican fighting a wannabe Mexican on the best boxing weekend of the year. It's a great fight where both guys let their hands go.
Yeah.
This is exactly what Benavidez has been waiting for. To fight on a big stage in the main event with every Mexicano tuning in. This is a great move by Samson Lukowitz. Unfortunately, it's not going to work out too well for Golden Boy Promotions and Zurdo Ramirez. Guys, Benavidez is going to whoop his ass.
You think?
I know. Look, say what you want, man. Zurdo's a tough man. That's what I said. A real Mexican fighting a wannabe Mexican. With obviously Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez being the real Mexican.
Yeah, Zurdo's really a Mexican.
Oh, yeah,
Dave's
dude.
a
Look, I'll say
Ecuadorian or
this.
something.
And look, I'll say this. After he gets out for Christmas vacation, we're going to get him on the show because I'm very good friends with his publicist, Bob Trieger.
Oh, you can have Zurdo on?
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, he is a great guy. He's got a great personality.
That's what I'm saying. People don't realize how funny this guy is. So if Zurdo can somehow win this fight or at least make a good account of himself, because I know he's going to do that, it's going to be a really fun fight because both guys let their hands go. Both guys are very physically and mentally durable. This has the makings of a super entertaining fight on Cinco de Mayo weekend. Thank you, Golden Boy,
Yeah.
and thank you, Samson. This is a great move by both guys. I love this matchup, guys.
Yeah, I always like Zurdo.
I don't
always
think,
like Zurdo, man.
Oh yeah, he's hilarious. Like wait till
He wears-
you get him on the show. He's really funny.
Oh man, you better put out some serious notification now, because I don't want to miss that
I'll let
one.
you guys know in advance because he is really funny. Like
Yeah, he is. I always
Yeah,
liked him because he wore his hat. He always had his cowboy hat on when he when he walks the ring. He's got his brown cowboy hat on. Man, it looks.
he's a really cool dude, and you guys will get to ask him some questions and find out how funny this dude is in person. He's really cool.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it, guys. But what
Yeah,
say
that's
you
great.
guys? Like everyone is complaining, oh, Cinco de Mayo without Canelo. How's it going to be? This is a brilliant maneuver by the powers that be in boxing. And this is exactly what the sport needs. A Cinco de Mayo weekend fight in which both guys throw down and let their balls hang. Guys, this is going to be all action start to finish. Both guys let their hands go. Both guys are physically durable. Both guys like to block punches with their face. Yeah. This is going to be an instant classic on Cinco de Mayo weekend. Win-win boxing.
That's going to be a great fight.
Absolutely.
I'm wondering what do you think is going to happen with Canelo? He's got his wrist and what is his wrist in his hand?
Look,
feel bad about that.
Look, once again, guys, I tried to tell you before the fight. I am not a detractor of Canelo Alvarez, but I am I can't stand some of their diehard fans at times because they're unreasonable and they're delusional. And I tried to tell you guys, he wasn't the same. And there's a reason why Terrence Crawford chose this fight. He's not the same, and he hasn't been the same for a minute. And I tried to tell you guys, and you guys treated me like I was being the bearer of bad news, like I pissed in your cornflakes or something.
I didn't say that.
No, not you. But look, guys, I just, like I always do, I just told you how it is. That's it.
Yeah,
no more, no
I feel bad for the guy, man. He's given us so many great fights. I just hope he heals up, and if he doesn't come back, Joseph, look, I understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look, if anyone deserves a big payday fight like Jake Paul, that's Canelo.
Yeah.
Because he has given us, he has carried the sport for the past 7-8 years. Since Floyd Manning retired, he carried the sport. No one else. Ryan's unreliable to become a big-time attraction. He doesn't have the work ethic. He's not that smart. Tank Davis, let's just be honest, he's a POS. He doesn't have it in him to carry the sport as well. He's a walking liability for the business. Who else? That's it.
That's it.
Canelo carried the sport, guys.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's a brilliant maneuver to put Benavidez and Zurdo Ramirez in his place while he's sitting out. Let's be honest, guys. He has only 2 more fights left in him. And I'll be honest, I don't know who he picks. He's not going to pick the winner of Christian Mbili and Hamzat Shiraz. That's for damn sure.
Bro, if his hand's messed up and he's getting it fixed, and he's getting older, it ain't going to heal that fast. And it's just going to be, just stay on the plane, man. Stay on the plane, stay healthy, play golf. Nobody's going to point the finger at you. I mean, why would they, you can't put, after all the great fights he's given us a lot of great fights. Come on, you got to admit it. I mean, if he retired at this point, I'd say, hey, hasta la vista, good luck, bro.
Well, look, I'll say this. Daisy, you said, who do you think has a potential to take over as the face of boxing after Canelo retires? Guys, that's entirely up to you.
Yep.
That's who always determines who the face of boxing is. The fans. You are the real bosses of boxing. And if Canelo fans just got over the fact or the idea that Benavidez is the enemy, you guys would actually like him. Because if you're honest with yourself, he is an entertaining badass. And not only in the ring, but he talks a lot of really funny shit outside of the ring too.
Yeah.
He is a great heel. Like, I'm going to use a wrestling term. He's a great heel. He talks shit and he backs it up. And he's all action. He's never in a dull fight. God bless you, brother. Merry Christmas, man. And like, guys, he's everything that you love about the sport. So like this Christmas season, put down the hatred goggles. Open your heart to the idea of Benavidez being the new face of boxing. Because the boxing would be healthier than someone like Tank Davis or Devin Haney as a new face of boxing. I'll say this, Daisy, you're saying that because you're riding Canelo's jock at this time. And I mean that with all the kindness and compassion that I can muster. You're saying Benavidez has a chance because you've adopted this idea that he's your enemy. And I'm telling you, put that away for the good of the sport. Are you a boxing fan or are you a Canelo fan at heart? Be honest. Because if you're a boxing fan, you'll be all for Benavidez carrying the sport. Because he can talk 2 languages just like Canelo. He's all action just like Canelo.
Some people just don't realize time moves on. Time, things go.
Daisy. No, Joseph, I'm just being real. Benavidez has no chance. Okay, why would you say that? Give me a good reason why he has no chance to be the face of boxing. Let's check off all the boxes. Is he entertaining in the ring?
Yep.
Check. Is he tough, physically and mentally durable, and coming into his fighting prime at age 28?
Yep.
Check. Is he fearless and takes on all comers?
Yep.
Check. Is he fun to listen to in interviews? Does he talk shit and back it up in the ring?
Yep.
Check. What's the problem, Daisy? What's the problem? Like I said, when you put aside your allegiance to Canelo Alvarez and view David Benavidez on unbiased terms, I know that you would become a fan of his. I already know this to be true because he's everything that you look for in your prize fighters. He's fearless. He's got heavy hands. He shows up and fights. Doesn't take a back step to anyone, and he just wants to kick your ass. And he's hilarious to listen to if he's not on the other side of your favorite fighter. So tell me what's wrong with this picture. I know you Canelo fans feel like you're going to be, oh man, I'm on the Canelo train, man. I feel like I'd be a turncoat. Look, I'm not going to disagree. Pitbull Cruz is awesome. And he's so much fun to watch, but he's not the badass. He's not the badass that David Benavidez is. He's not as skilled as he needs to be to become the face of boxing. He's too vulnerable. More often than not, he's going to lose to the elite level fighter. David Benavidez is that elite level badass who wants all the smoke. That's why he's moving up to cruiserweight to fight for the unified cruiserweight title. He's not going to sit around and wait for Beterbiev and Bivol, who have no desire to fight him right now at this juncture of their career. And he didn't wait around for Canelo. He moved up to 75. Now he's moving up to cruiserweight because he's tired of waiting for the next badass to step in the ring with him. Pitbull is very good, but look, when you fight like Pitbull Cruz, in the immortal words of Eddie Futch, you're going to have a short but glorious career. And also, he doesn't know English. That never helps.
Yeah. Hey, that's a problem right there. You're absolutely right.
Let's be honest, guys. Canelo, boy, his game went to the next level when he started speaking English. Let's be honest.
Yep.
He was hilarious. Wait a minute. You actually think Crawford is the face of boxing?
No.
You're saying Crawford is elite and never became the... That's right. Because he's about as fun as a stick to listen to when he talks. He's got the personality of a stump. And he doesn't fight always in a fan-pleasing style. He's a crafty, defensive-minded counterpuncher. Benavidez wants to uncork an ass-whooping on you, no matter who it is. And he's going to throw more punches than you. He's going to prove that he's the tougher man in the ring. He's going to prove that he has a better chin than you. He's going to prove that he's going to beat your ass, just like he did against Anthony Yard. Anthony Yard thought, oh, I've been in the ring with better opposition. I think I can take him. Next. And guys, that always seems to happen when David Benavidez gets in the ring. I genuinely thought David Morrell was going to beat him. Benavidez said he was the tougher, more skilled, more mature man mentally.
Yep.
I'm telling you guys, Benavidez has that stuff. And if you guys don't jump on board, that's a damn shame because you're going to be missing out on a truly great fighter.
You know, a lot of these guys have Benavidez been fighting. You know, a lot of people don't know it, but Benavidez started off young. And when he was young, he was fighting competition, even when he was young in the sparring. So the kid's, it's no wonder he's at where he's at. I mean, he's had a hell of a lot of experience.
Look, when he was a teenager, he was sparring Gennady Golovkin.
Yeah.
He's fearless, guys. That's what, dude, he is the very opposite of Devin Haney. He's the kind of guys that you want to see in the ring. He's the kind of fighter that you want to see at the top of the sport. No one wants to see Devin Haney be the premier representative of the sport.
It'll never happen.
Shakur Stevenson be the premier representative and ambassador to the sport with his mouth and his
never happened.
Man, he's a terrible ambassador for the sport. So who else is there? Tank Davis? The wife beater? No thanks. Ryan Garcia, the head case? He's going to have to announce his retirement after he loses soundly to Mario Barrios.
You know what? Okay. That's a good one right there because I picked Barrios too. I think Barrios is better, but he has a better grasp of the fundamentals, and he's just going to take it. And he's a big guy. I like Barrios. I think he's going to beat him. Beat him good too.
Benavidez is not the big draw he should be at this time, and that's in large part to all of the Canelo haters. Like, the Canelo fans love to hate Benavidez. They can't stand him. They view him as a mortal enemy. And
Really?
I am asking you guys, put that aside. Put that away. He's not even in the same division any longer. Don't worry about that. He's never going to fight Canelo.
No.
You'll see, guys. You'll see. This is going to be a big promotion in May, and he's going to carry the whole thing with Zurdo. And the build-up is going to be really awesome, guys. Both guys are really entertaining, both in and out of the ring, and they like to talk shit. This is going to be a lot of fun, guys. And look, I'm going to say it right now. I think whoever wins this fight, they're going to pick up a lot of new fans as a result. Once again, guys just need the opportunity. And so far, Benavidez has been denied every big fight opportunity in the States. Canelo didn't want to give it to him. Bivol doesn't want to give it to him. But Turbiev's always hurt.
Yeah.
Who is going to fight that's going to be on that platform, guys? Once again, this is a guy who is still excelling in spite of the business. But no, he's not the kind of draw that we'd hope that he becomes. But hey, Daisy, once again, you guys are the real bosses of boxing. That's entirely up to you. If you want to continue to carry around this hatred and bitterness for the guy that called your hero Canelo out, then hey, that's your prerogative. But I'll tell you this, he's a bigger draw than Virgil Ortiz Jr. at this time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I tell you what, that's a damn shame because Virgil Ortiz Jr. is a bad dude.
Yeah, well, if he had the personality Benavidez had, he would be, but you know how Benavidez is in some of those press conferences. He's just, like you said, he's funny and he's he means business. And Virgil's kind of soft-spoken,
Yeah, Virgil's a great guy. He and his dad both. Look, we're going to do something fun to end this show, brother, okay? We're going to do a segment we like to call the Boxing Source Q&A as an homage to my brother, James from the Boxing Source, James Bell. Guys, if you haven't already, please go subscribe to my brother, James Bell at the Boxing Source.
It's time for the BoxingSource.net Rapid Fire Q&A.
Woo! Here we go, Peter. Are you ready? Rapid Fire Q&A Christmas edition. We did this with Coach Ronnie Shields last week. And we're going to do it with Peter Von Arx this week. You ready? And anyone who wants to comment, please comment, guys. All right, number one, brother. Better Christmas movie hero, Kevin McAllister of Home Alone or Buddy the Elf of Elf?
Home Alone.
I agree. I don't know. I love both of them. Number two, better Christmas classic, It's a Wonderful Life or Miracle on 34th Street?
It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh man, I love both movies, but I say I favor I favor Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah.
That is you have to watch that every year, guys. Or else it doesn't feel like Christmas. Man, I love It's a Wonderful Life, dude.
Yeah.
Number three, better animated favorite, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or Frosty the Snowman?
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Hands down. Hands down. That's a must every year as well. Number four, better holiday soundtrack, Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You or Wham's Last Christmas?
Well, Mariah Carey.
Oh, I like Wham's Last Christmas. I think I think that's a lesser of two evils.
I kind of like both of them. I can't really say I like Christmas music. So yeah,
I love Christmas music. In fact, this Friday, if you're in the South Texas area, I'm going to be hosting karaoke again, and we're going to be doing best Christmas carol winner for karaoke, guys. So if you're in the South Texas area or you're in San Antonio, please visit. Friday night, we're going to be doing that. Ready? Next one.
Yep.
Better Christmas comedy, Christmas Vacation or Home Alone?
Christmas Vacation.
I agree, brother. I love Clark Griswold, man.
Correct.
Yeah, I love it. And Cousin Eddie and all that stuff. It's great.
Holiday Road.
Yeah, Lindsey Buckingham. That's right. Number 6, better holiday drink, eggnog or hot chocolate?
Eggnog.
Hands down, brother. I love me some eggnog. And let's just be honest. Can't enjoy it any other time of the year but Christmas. There it is.
Just
Number
bought some.
7. Better Christmas Eve tradition, opening one present or saving everything for Christmas morning?
Oh, gosh. Well, if it's kids, if you got kids, Christmas morning. But if it's just, like family, open them up, throw them around.
I agree with that. Kids, it's always better Christmas morning. Dude, playing Santa is something special, isn't it?
Yep.
I used to love playing Santa when I was raising my sonny. That was the best day of the year. Number 8, better festive dessert, peppermint bark or gingerbread cookies?
I'm going with the cookies.
I don't like either. I've never been a fan of either. I prefer sugar cookies.
Oh, I like those.
Yeah. I've never been a fan of either peppermint bark or gingerbread. I'll take chocolates or sugar cookies over either one of those.
Yeah, chocolates.
Number 9, better Christmas cartoon special, Charlie Brown Christmas or How the Grinch Stole Christmas?
How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
I'll have to watch Charlie Brown over that any day of the week. Like, I love this. Like, honestly, I watch every Charlie Brown special just for the music.
Yeah.
The best jazz show on TV.
Yeah.
Dude, that was the only reason why I like to watch Mr. Rogers. Dude, that pianist was a monster, dude. His riffs were sick. Who was the guy who played on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood?
I don't know.
Best jazz pianist on TV ever. That guy was amazing. Like, I'm going to look him up, dude. That guy was crazy good. Let's see. Hold on. Number 10. Better holiday decoration, real tree or artificial tree?
Real tree.
Oh, man. See, every year I put up my fake tree, and I buy a Christmas tree candle from Yankee. So I get the Christmas tree smell, but without all the pine needles in the carpet.
Oh, you got to keep water underneath them.
I do. Even still, I don't like stepping when I'm doing my spring cleaning. I don't like stepping and still getting a pine needle between the toes.
Oh.
Number 11. Better gift giving style, thoughtful picked out gifts or gift cards?
Thoughtful picked out gifts.
I don't know, man. I'm a big fan of getting cash.
I give
socks. I like the gift cards. I don't like giving gift cards, but I like getting them.
I give socks every year.
Oh, dude, you would, Peter. Well, dude,
Socks.
Where you're from, you need to double up your socks, dude.
Yeah, man. Everybody gets socks. I don't care who you are.
If you're a dude, yes, socks are always a good gift. But if you give a girl socks, that's grounds for divorce, homie.
No, man. You get those girls get bathrobes.
Yeah, that's
with
true.
a hood. With
that's
a hood.
True.
Yeah.
That's true. 12. Better Christmas morning vibe, Christmas story on TBS, or wearing new pajamas while opening presents?
Oh, geez. I don't know.
That's a tough one. Because who doesn't get new pajamas every year for Christmas?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I love me some flannel PJs. But Man, I love having Christmas Story all day long in the background.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, I love that tradition on TBS, Christmas Story. And dude, I'll be honest, my dad, God rest your soul, Pops, he had the same little patience, and it sounded exactly like the dad on Christmas Story.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I miss my Pops in the worst way. He's the one who got me into watching boxing. Love you, Dad. Number 13, better seasonal scent, pine tree or cinnamon spice?
Pine tree.
I like them both, but yeah, like I said, I always get the pine tree candle and have it on all day so I can smell like a real Christmas tree. But I just can't stand all the messy cleanup a real Christmas tree entails.
Oh, yeah.
Number 14, better Christmas anthem, Peter. Oh Holy Night or Silent Night?
Oh, Holy Night, Nat King Cole.
I like the Johnny Mathis version better.
You got to be kidding, Nat.
No,
Nat.
no. If you said Merry Christmas, I'd say Nat King Cole. But Oh
Oh,
Holy
man.
Night, no one does it better than Johnny Mathis.
Well, he was good, but I like Nat King Cole's rendition better. I just like Nat's voice. He just said
Yeah,
that smooth.
yeah, I'm not going to disagree with that though. I love Nat King Cole, man.
Yeah, he was
15,
like,
final Q&A. Worst Christmas gift, fruitcake or obvious regift?
I think the fruitcake.
Yeah. Maybe I'm weird, or maybe it's my white dude coming out of me. I love fruitcake. That dessert was made for portly white people. And you know
Well, I
what?
don't know.
And I'll admit that's a guilty pleasure of mine. I love getting fruitcake. I love the candied cherries. I love the candied nuts. I love fruitcake.
Oh,
I love
yeah,
it,
it's
man.
just
Dude, I'll be honest. I love everything Christmas, brother.
yeah, me too. Me too. I can't, I love Christmas.
Yeah, dude. Christmas is the best time of the year, man.
I
And
always say Merry Christmas and I say it loud, like Merry Christmas. So
there's
they hear
nothing
it
wrong
good.
with that. Once again, we should spread the gospel, spread the good cheer of Christmas.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
Like once again, guys, understand the real meaning of Christmas. And this is going to be the end of the show, so I'm going to talk about this. Just give me a couple minutes, guys. Okay. Guys, as we're moving into this Christmas season, well into it, it's December 10th already. 2 weeks until Christmas. Guys, I'm sorry, was that you, Peter?
No problem. You keep us cleared out, you get bakeries.
Who the hell are you talking to?
Happy Merry Christmas, bro.
Look, guys, right now.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah. What's up, Peter?
Check this out, man. My neighbor just brought me a pie.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
He goes,
looks beautiful with the crumble also, man.
Yeah. Oh, it smells good too.
Oh, congratulations, Peter. You deserve it. It's a damn shame it's not fruitcake.
Merry Christmas to me. Merry Christmas to me.
Indeed, brother. Now, once again, guys, as we're in the midst of this Christmas season, and we're on the threshold of a new year, just remember, guys, the Holy Spirit is calling us to remember that our words carry eternal weight. The birth of Jesus Christ was heaven's declaration that light had come into the world. And every follower of Christ is meant to echo that light with the words that they speak. So, guys, in this Christmas season, remember that our words, boy, they carry weight. They carry weight. Be kind. Be compassionate. Be loving. and show the light of Christ within you. Okay, guys? And I know sometimes it's hard, especially when you're in traffic and in the hustle and bustle of the Christmas shopping on the weekends. Guys, be kind and be generous. Be charitable this Christmas season. Okay? Remember the reason why we celebrate Christmas. Okay, guys, and show that light of Christ within you. All right?
Yeah, because they're trying to take Christ out of Christmas, and I don't like that.
Be that beacon of Christ's goodness, because you all have the Holy Spirit within you. And I'm going to leave you with John 13, 34, 35. Jesus speaking with his disciples, he said, "A new commandment I give you, that you love one another, just as I have loved you. You also are to love one another. By this, all people will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another." Guys, show people your heart and your mind belong to Jesus. Go out and spread the good Christmas cheer. Be kind to everyone. Be loving. Be charitable. And be generous. God bless all of you. Peter, do you have any parting shots for our listening audience today?
No, actually, I'm the fights I'm looking forward to is Mobility Chavez, or what his name is, Charez, and Zerto and Benavidez. Those are going to be something to look forward to, in my opinion.
Yep, guys, and don't forget, you're going to see the Compton card this Friday on DAZN. I think it's going to be Diego Pacheco. Is that right? Let me look on the calendar, brother.
I like Pacheco.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Diego Pacheco if he fights an aggressive-minded fighter. If he has to take the lead, yeah, he looks very ordinary. But guys, let's hold on. Let's look up the boxing schedule real quick. I want to speak as a matter of.
You cut off, Joe.
Oh, Chihuahua. Look at that.
Oh, you're back.
Hold on, guys.
You're back.
I'm sorry. I'm back now. I'm sorry about that. Guys, once again, my computer is running a little slow. Let's take a look at the boxing schedule. All right. This weekend. Let's see. Oh gosh. From Dubai. On DAZN, Kubrat Pulev versus Murat Gassiev for Pulev's WBA regular heavyweight title, whatever the hell that means.
Yeah.
And then on December 13th, the following day, from Stockton, California, Diego Pacheco versus Kevin Saggio. And we also have Gabriel Flores Jr. versus Joe Cordina.
Oh, that should be good.
That's going to be a good fight, too.
Yeah.
Guys, tune in and support your beloved boxing. And don't forget to purchase the pay-per-view of Badu Jack versus Bum of the Month Club for Jack's WBC Cruiserweight title. My brother Thomas Triber is going to be there doing all the ring announcing. So, also from Mexicali, Luis Alberto Lopez versus Miguel Arevalo Mejia. I think.
Mejia.
This weekend, guys. Next week, from Sydney, Australia, Timmy Zhu is going to try to get back in the ring against Anthony Velasquez. And then Sam Goodman versus Tyler Blizzard. I don't know if that's being televised in the States, though. And then we've got December 18th coming up on Netflix. Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. Oh, boy.
Okay.
Yeah. Woo! Oh, Chingao, guys. So, yeah. Hey, we've got something to look forward to. And guys, we're going to try to go live once again before the end of the week so we can talk more about these matchups coming up in the weeks ahead. But God bless you guys. Peter, your parting shots for our listening audience.
God bless everybody. Merry Christmas. And I hope you all get a pie.
Woo! Oh, God bless all of you guys. And thank you, Peter, for joining us. Guys, on behalf of Peter Von Arx, I'm Joseph Herron. You've been listening to WaraWeek Boxing. Have a great evening, everybody.
Vashon Holdings proudly presents WaraWeek Radio Chats with ring announcer Joseph Herron.